Hello, a very warm welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. We are back with another live race from TOGA Motorsport. We're back with the Multiclass GT3 and GT4. It's going to be exciting. We're at Watkins, Glen. It was a very good track, but I just wonder whether the weather will change in some way, shape and form. Who knows? We don't know. But we shall need to wait and see. Anyway, I hope everybody's well. I hope you've all had a good week. I hope it's not been too stressful for you. It's almost the weekend. Strange, good evening. You like the new intro? Awesome. I take it there was sound because when I added it earlier on today, I didn't configure the sound to come through my headphones, but I saw that the meters were going, so I'm assuming it was all good. Yes, so our new intro is from the fabulous Mr. Owen Cripps. Yeah, there was music. Excellent. Was it too loud or was it okay, Strange? Because it's actually very loud. I had to turn it quite a bit down. Good to see you in the chat, Strange. Hope you're doing well. So, we are back. We've only got 5 minutes left of qualifying, so I do want to show the standings. Now we've had 2 races already, so this is the culmination of both races with all of the penalties and everything added together. This is what we have left. Okay, so your top 10 for the GT3. P1 is Kiko Gallo. Now Kiko has just driven phenomenally. Even when things weren't going his way, still driving really well, sitting with 81 points. Second is Owen Cripps in the Ferrari 296 with 71 points. We've got Samuel Brackstad in P3 with the Porsche 992, 48 points. Dean Perry in P4 with 42 points. Craig Stewart P5 tied with 42 points. In P6 we've got Dries Verhulst, who's in the Lamborghini Evo 2 with 38 points. Peter Romeo in P7 with his Aston Martin with 34 points. Remy Lammers in P8 with 30 points. Carlo Dorazio is in his Ferrari 296 with 24 points, and sitting in P10 is Graham Taylor with his McLaren 720S GT3 Evo with 22 points. So that's the GT3 standings. GT4 standings, your top 10 are as follows. P1, we've got Lucas Litchin, hopefully I've said that right, in the McLaren 570 with 71 points. With 1 point behind in P2 is Gaz Gasolina and his KTM. P3, we've got Quentin Rosenfeld with 48 points. Good evening, Julius. Julias. I hope you're doing well. Sorry for messing your name up so many times. Now time to see if your wheel works. I've got my fingers crossed for you, Julius. Strange, you're okay? Excellent. P4, we've got Callum Jones in the Ginetta with 44 points. P5, we have Julius with the Mercedes GT4 with 40 points. Tied with Julius for P6 is Maya Van Dijk in the Ginetta with 40 points. P7 is Graham Potter with his McLaren 570 and with 38 points. We then got Elias Fernando in P8 with the Porsche Cayman with 34 points. Stephen Hood with the Camaro with 32 points in P9. And Ollie, my fellow commentator, in P10 with the Aston Martin with 26 points. So that is your standings for the first 2 races. Now, the GT3 is hotly contested. The 2 main, and I don't want to take this away from any of the other GT3 drivers, but the main 2 people vying and contending? Yeah, I'll go with that word. Is Kiko Gallo and Owen Cripps. Now there's 10 points between them. Kiko has finished first in both races. Slight thanks to Owen for that. The first race, Kiko was he had a touch of paint transfer from one of the GT4 cars, and Cripps obviously realised that had happened, so he then gave Kiko back the place to give him P1. The second race, it was chaos. It was chaos, but oh, so I'm just looking at one of the GT4 McLarens getting all kind of sideways there, Mr. Potter, and yeah, so this is so well set up for it's going to be a photo finish, I think, for this. You saw by the GT4s, it is so open. Anyone in the top 5 or 6, maybe even 7 or 8, could still clinch the championship. Julius, it's honestly dead. Tried everything, not working out. What was that? A Windows update or something, Julius, that you had? So I absolutely anticipate that this is going to be a really good race. The last 2 races have not disappointed us in any way, shape and form. First race was Imola, second race was Suzuka, and third race. I'm actually going to have a look because I can't remember if it's 4 or 5 championships. I'm just going to have a little look. So it's 4 championships. So this is the penultimate race. The last race for next week is Silverstone, the holy grail of British motorsport. Julius, yeah, forced update now. Fantech says not available. Hope it's not fried your wheel. Is there nothing you can do? Very difficult to revert back to a previous Windows version. You could obviously try and do that, see if that would work. But Fabio Bellini, how are you? Hello, good evening. Good to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're ready for some varying conditions. Possibly, who knows? I honestly don't know. So that's I'm not trying to play with your minds or anything like that. Ooh, it's getting dark. So the first 12 minutes is GT4. GT3 must sit and wait. Now, if the GT4 car crosses the line with 9 minutes and 59 seconds, they can continue that final lap. If anyone crosses the line after 10 minutes, they must immediately return to pits as quickly as possible. The the GT3s will then be released and they'll be allowed to go their merry way. So let's have a little look and see. All of the GT4s are out on track, as you would expect. Watkins, Glen, you know, it's a reasonably long track. So with GT4, you want to try and get out as soon as possible to see what's happening. So we've got Van Dijk, who appears to be the first out the paddock, as they would say. Davida, good evening. Oh, it's going to be a wet quali. Oh, look at that. 10 minutes. So the GT4s may very well get a dry qualifying, but the GT3s looks like they are going to have a wet race. Kiko, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Good luck for the race. Hi, Peter. How you doing? Julius, you tried every different modes from base and different USBs, nothing. As I say, the only thing you could do is every time Windows does an update, it creates a what's the term that they use? It creates almost like a bookmark, and you should technically be able to revert your Windows install back to that bookmark, but I wouldn't like to try and talk you through it. I wouldn't like something to go really wrong. Peter, wet quality for GT3 except a GT4 and pole. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a couple of GT4s sitting in the front row of the grid. Oh, it could be testing. Davida, the GT4 need to put the good laps in as soon as possible, actually. And also GT3s, because of the rain, it's going to be wetter and wetter. It is, so you can see in the top right corner, or just, sorry, right of the qualifying, if you don't race with ACC, we've got 10 minutes and then the rain's going to start, and then in 30 minutes it is going to be torrential rain. The track temperature is 38 degrees and the air temperature is 31 degrees with no wind. Now, does that then mean that the rain's not going to go anywhere because there's no wind to push it? Who knows? Who knows? But I think this is going to be very exciting. Peter, fine, you're hot for the race. Just hot in general, or just melting. Andy Damer? Sorry if I've said your surname wrong there. You're here to support Big Milky Milker, aka Maya. Nice. That is who we're watching at the moment. The Milker Racing Ginetta. So it looks like Maya is going to be the first to set a fastest lap. Now they've just all went over. I'm just having a look just now for this. Every GT4, apart from Ollie. Ollie is not out of the pits yet. But we have every other GT4 out. Ollie's maybe doing a last till first. Julius, your whole PC went into different looking. Does it look more like Windows 11 now? I'm just wondering if it's a big update. I know there was a Windows update the other day where it put the search bar back down in the bottom left next to start. I hate that. Absolutely hate that. So here we go. Maya with the first flying lap. And it is a one... So, in fact, sorry. Maya's just been pipped. So, Graham Potter with a 156.145. Stephen Hood with a 157.045. Maya in P3, or now P4, because Jones has just put in a 155.340. Jones at the moment is the person to beat. We've got Tronson in P5 with a 158. In fact, he's now been duped down. Elias Fernando puts himself into P4 with a 157.762. So Jones is setting the pace, and I mean Jones is in the last two races has been very, very quick. Yeah, something weird, Julius. Having said that, I think I had a couple of issues with my Logitech, and I actually had to uninstall software, reinstall it, and the whole thing. Peter, you're excited for the race, but the pressure is great. Do you know you can't beat a little bit of pressure, can you? You cannot beat it. Let's have a quick look at Mr. Hood in the Camaro now. That car is a handful in the dry. I would hate to think what it's going to be like in the wet. So there's quite a few back already. What we've got left... Yeah, they've still got a few minutes, but I wonder if they're... Yeah, it looks like they're just changing something in the setup. Maybe tyre pressures or something along those lines. Keep an eye on Jones just now as he's setting the fastest laps. Ollie is out on the track. Julius is obviously in the pits. Poor Julius can't get his wheel to work after a Windows update, so that's hugely upsetting. Kiko, the rain is coming just in time for the GT3s going out, Kiko. That's what it is. This is going to really put everything... Like, there's an expression in the UK, a cat amongst the pigeons. I don't know if you're in a driver briefing, but Hayden said to try and get cats into the conversation. So there we go. Tick the box. Hope you liked the cat pictures. I'd say I'm more of a dog person, but cats, you know, cats are cute as well. Anyway, I digress. So at the moment we've got we've only got 2 GT4s who have not set a valid lap yet. Jones still absolutely pushing. He is racing against himself at this point in time. You hear the tyres squealing. This track murders tyres. Anyone who's raced on it will know. Davida, God, I was thinking about try the gamble with slicks, but it seems like it's not going to be an option at all. If it sticks like this, no, it's going to be a full wet. I think now the drivers, GT4 and GT3 drivers, have the option of running their dry setup, quali setup, race setup, with wet tyres, or if they have a wet setup, do they gamble and put their car into the wet setup, because we don't know how long the rain is going to last. At the moment it's shown it's going to get heavier in 30 minutes. David, how you doing? Hello Mac, thank you very much for popping in. Please. Now, this is a little challenge tonight. Mr. Hayden is streaming on Twitch, so please go and give him a follow. He's on the TOGA Motorsport Twitch channel. But please hit that, smash that like button for me. It makes me warm and fuzzy inside and makes me feel as if I'm doing my job, I'm doing things properly if I get likes. I know, don't concentrate on statistics, but I do. Everybody does. Everything in the world is based on statistics these days. So please, if you haven't already, smash that like button and let's see if we can get more viewers than Hayden on Twitch. It's a challenge. So, not much has changed. Lichten has now put himself up into P2. Both McLarens now up in P2 as Jones now pulls out. So, if they have not already went past at the 10-minute mark, they can finish if it's below the 10 minutes. If it's just ticked past 10 minutes, they must come back in as soon as possible, because the GT3s will no doubt be dying to get out onto track. In fact, if they weren't queued at the exit of the pits, I'd be mighty surprised. I can see some kind of creeping forward at the moment, so just going to keep an eye on, because obviously until they leave the pits, it doesn't identify. Nope, no one's there yet. It's almost like F1. Alex! Like, thank you so much, Alex. Hello, legend. How are you doing, Alex? It's looking, unless you, yeah, there's the rain on. Oh no! Just in time. We can't queue in pit lane by rules, sadly. Otherwise, you would have seen us all there. Yeah, it would have been an F1 thing. Just every car queued up in the exit. So the rain is now officially on. This is not, if you're a GT3 driver, you do not want to see this. This is this for qualifying. You very well could see GT4s very high up the field, and some GT3 cars much further back. Kiko loving it. Julius somehow works with PS5 mode, but with PC not helping. Oh, what? Does your USBs work with other things like your mice or whatever else you got plugged into your USBs? So it's not as if it's shorted your USB sockets. Ooh. 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 Do I go? Do I go? Do I not go? Somebody is queuing at the end of the pits. We have got live stewarding tonight as well as live commentary, so I think there's 3 stewards tonight, but certainly, yeah, it's. I think this could be full of incidents. Is that GT4 going back out? Has he got enough time? Yeah, I suppose he does. Still no real change. We've only got 1, 2, 3. 3 GT4s out on track at the moment. So your top 10, as you can see, are as follows. Jones in P1, Lichten P2, Potter P3, Fernando P4, Hood P5, Gasolina P6, Ollie P7, Van Dijk P8, 9 is Bellini, 10th is Tronson, and that is your top 10. That is actually the, apart from Julius, that is the entire field of GT4s. Julius, no, you have this Fanatec control panel and it only recognises the PS5 mode. I don't have, well, that's a lie, I do have Fanatec. I've got Fanatec pedals, but I don't have a Fanatec wheelbase, so unfortunately I can't really help you. As far as that goes, it's just so unlucky that that's happened. How was your pace, Julius, for Watkins, Glen? So we're just waiting now. We've only got Lichten who's out. Lichten is trying to improve, but you're not going to improve in the wet conditions in comparison to the dry conditions. But it does give them an opportunity to feel how the track is. Now you can see how much of a slide there was there. So he's just trying to get a feel of how wet the track is and how it feels. So in 10 minutes time it's going to get heavier, and then in half an hour, 30 minutes time, it's going to lighten again to what we have at the moment. Julie, it's not good, but this leaves you losing points. Yeah, and you're sitting in P5 in the championship at the moment. Absolutely, Davida. Absolutely. So we're just, in fact, we've got a couple of GT4s back out again. So we've got Potter who's out, and we've got Fernando in the Porsche. So again, they're just trying to find their feet. I might sound like I'm telling another phrase that's in the UK is telling my granny how to suck eggs, but I want to appeal to people who maybe don't have sim racing experience, or people who are just new to sim racing. So please forgive me if I sound like I'm droning on for it, but there is such a huge difference between a wet track and a dry track in every possible way. Your braking marker for when you go hard on the brakes, it has to change. When you're accelerating, just as Elias does there, you need to be so careful. A lot of drivers turn the traction control up just to try and stop the car from absolutely losing control. Oh, he absolutely bins it into the into that. Let's just have a little look and see. Oh. That was a bit of a strange straight into the barrier. So the GT3s are now out, so Potter is going to have to watch himself. He is probably going to have GT3s coming at him quick, but I think he'll probably get back to pits before they get out. So let's have a look who is first. Well, a funny feeling. It's certainly not. So is Taylor out first? Certainly Gallo is out. In fact, all of the GT3s. So the last GT3 to come out is Davida in the BMW at the moment. So they're just backing up now a little bit. But again, how many drivers have been practicing on wet conditions? Let's just see them getting round the track. They need to try and get temperature into the tyres. They need to get the pressure built up in the tyres, and there's so many things that needs to go on. So I'm just going to have a look down. Looks like Alex Hertz is first out. It's a beautiful looking car. That livery is just so well designed for that car. And you can see he's using all the curbs now. That's interesting. A lot of drivers tend to try and avoid the curbs because wet curbs, it just ruins your drive. So he's absolutely on point. You can just see Owen Cripps behind him. So Owen is out to try and set the fastest pace possible. Now you can see as the rain is going to start getting heavier, there's going to be puddles lying. As you can see, there's actually puddles forming already on the road. If you hit one of those puddles at a very fast rate, you end up aquaplaning. Now, any car can aquaplane over the speed of 50 miles per hour, depending on how bad the conditions are. Aquaplaning, and again, sorry if I'm insulting you, Steve, honestly, who called in the rain? At least you got dry laps for your quali, Steve. So that's, at least you're there. So you are. Yeah, so aquaplaning happens when there's a build-up of water in front of the tyres, and it basically lifts the tyres. So as you can see, the back end of Alex Hertz' Lambo just absolutely fighting. But if it raises your wheels, so your technically wheels aren't really touching the tarmac. So when you're aquaplaning, that's when you see people going full lock trying to, steer. And then all of a sudden it grips again because it goes past the puddle. And then all of a sudden your tyres are facing, almost perpendicular. So you then end up spinning. So it's so difficult when you're racing in heavy, heavy rain. I hope you have a good race, Steve. I hope you do. Ion, hello. How you doing? Or is it Eon? Please let me know if I've said your name wrong. But thank you so much for everyone who's in again. I'm going to say it again. Hayden is on Twitch, on the TOGA Motorsport Twitch channel. I want to absolutely destroy his viewing figures. in a competition, a nice competition way. So please, if you can... Alex just backs out to let Cripps through just now. If you absolutely can, smash that like button. It would mean the world to me. So, at the moment, Cripps has set the fastest lap with a 1:52.072. He is just under 4/10 faster than Gallo. So let's have a little look at Gallo at the moment. Gallo is already 2/10 up. On this lap alone. Cripps kind of hovering on about 2/10 slower than his best. So your top 7 at the moment for GT3s: Cripps in P1, Gallo P2, Verhulst P3, Piva in P4, Hertz P5, Taylor P6, and Ruggero in P7. Still quite a lot of GT3s to set a time. And obviously these conditions, if you're not careful, you can very easily end up losing time. And you can just see Gallo has just set the fastest lap by 2,000th of a second. You heard me right, 2,000th of a second. That is just, I mean, we are literally talking being able to be in the throttle a millisecond quicker or on the brakes a millisecond later. That is what we're talking about. It's such a close battle at the moment. They are 8/10 faster than P3, who is Donkervolk in his Ferrari. So the mantle has been passed back to Cripps. The challenge has been thrown down. What can Cripps do? Now Cripps has somehow found he was actually 8/10 up there. He's due to that corner, he's just fallen back to 3/10 quicker. So if Cripps keeps this up for the rest of the lap, he will take. Peter Romeo comes in with Aston Martin with a 1:51. 1:08.47. Wow, what an absolute lap. So Gallo, I'm just looking to see who's going to cross the line first. It looks like Cripps will cross the line first. Now Cripps has almost lost any time advantage he had. Gallo is 3/10 slower. Verhulst has got 8/10 quicker. So Verhulst could push himself up, and you can see Cripps has actually stopped. Going to go back to the pits. He's going to have a look and see what can he do to just increase that. He did do a quicker time there as he crossed the line. It was a 1:51.990, but he is 1/10 off the pace of Peter Romeo at the moment. So Gallo has got everything to fight for here. Cripps could be, he won't be because I know him, but some people might settle for, well, Gallo has all the work to do to try and get past me. But at the end of the day, the more, in fact, oh, I just seen a yellow flag at Cripps there. He'd slowed down for a faster car. Julius, you're loading new drivers. Let's see. I've got my fingers crossed for you, Julius. You can see they're absolutely using every part of the curb that they can just to try and use as much track as possible for this. So this is going to be close. Gallo is 3/10 up at the moment, which would leapfrog. In fact, it would actually put him into P1, but he looks like he's lost all of his lap time there. You can see Alex Hertz has just stopped in a safe position. This is so close. I don't think any of us could actually decide who is going to be P1, 2 and 3. So, nearer the, probably halfway through, please somebody remind me because my memory is terrible. I am going to do a driver of the day poll, and you, the viewers, will be able to decide who is that. Now, I'm going to choose 4 drivers, 2 GT3 and 2 GT4 drivers for you to then decide who your driver of the day is with GT3 and GT4. Gallo, sorry, while I've been talking, Gallo 0.05 of a second faster than Peter Romeo. Again, Gallo has now just put another car between him and Cripps. Cripps is on a flying lap at the moment, but he's... So, at the moment, we've got Sector 1 and Sector 3 are the fastest for Gallo, and Sector 2 is the fastest for Cripps. This is going to come down to the wires. 4 minutes left. Just over 4 minutes left. I've got a yellow flag. Man, oh, what happened with Mandalisi? What happened to Davida there? That looked like a heavy shunt. Oh! Ouch! Oh! Wow, that was painful. Can Cripps do anything now? He has about 2 laps left to try and basically he has 2/10 to find. That is all he needs to find. So Gallo absolutely putting on the pressure. Ryan, good evening, how you doing? Were you oh-dearing at poor Davida there? And the rain, I know. So, 10 minutes time the rain is going to ease off, and in 30 minutes time the rain is going to stop. Now you can see there's a dry line, or a drier line, on the track at the moment. But yeah, it's That's torrential at the moment. You're all good, thank you. Hope everyone's well. Yep, absolutely. It's almost the weekend. I hope your week's been good, Ryan. So, at the moment, Gallo and Romeo are the only two who have got green sectors times at the moment. And even those are in the hundredths at the moment. Cripps is now starting... Oh, I was going to say he's starting to improve, but commentator's curse. I would say out of Gallo and Cripps, Gallo has got the advantage. Ooh, Cripps getting a little bit of grass there as well. Cripps at least has to get in front of Peter Romeo, because if he doesn't, he's going to have to battle Romeo to get past him to then chase Gallo. And while that battle's going on, Gallo can just try to eke ahead. And anyone who knows anything about racing, sim racing, real life racing, if you're fighting with someone, you're losing time to the person ahead of you, or ahead of your battle. So this is it's crucial, absolutely crucial. Now, the interesting thing, Peter Romeo has now got, he's the fastest first sector, Cripps fastest second sector, and fastest third sector is Gallo. So we have 3 different drivers who are faster in the different sectors of the lap. Oh, Cripps using every part of the track. This is going to be his last lap. This is going to have to be a special lap. He needs to look into his box of tricks and come up with something in the next 2 minutes. Oh, Julius, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, my friend. Even if you start at the back, you're still racing. I'm just having a little look while we're watching Cripps. The only person who is actually still to set a time is Stevens in the 100 AMG GT3. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to have a GT4 mix-up at the head of the field or even the middle of the field. Everything is looking pretty set. Cripps is not managing to improve his time at the moment. This is going to hurt him. Donkervolk is actually improving. If Donkervolk can continue like this, he could take Cripps's P3 for qualifying, but it looks like he's now losing time. So I think at the moment Cripps is safe in P3, but I don't think he's going to improve. I don't think he's going to get any better. But we'll wait and see. He always likes to prove people wrong. As he comes over the line, no. He is 300ths of a second behind Peter Romeo. So let me just run through your top 10 we have at the moment. Gallo is in P1 with his McLaren. Peter Romeo slotting his Aston Martin in P2. Cripps P3. Donkervolk P4. Verhulst P5. Cupera P6. Taylor P7. Alex Hertz P8. Dorazio P9. And Lammers in P10. Just looking to see if Carlo is going to improve on his time. Doesn't look like it. Backstad is improving. He's 8/10ths up on his last lap, or his fastest lap. Steve, you think he might be faster with slippers on rather than running trainers? For the next event, I'll have to switch back to full English mode slippers. Do you not try racing with your socks? I just race with my socks. I don't race with anything else on my feet. Julius, you're in. Excellent. Ryan, who here is racing Sunday in the 2.4 race at Barcelona? I don't know, actually. I don't know. I know Cripps is with Tippy Boss. see good timing, starting at the back might make it a safer bet. It could. Davida, I saw Romeo with another class car there. He was fast as hell. He is. The top three are in. Even no, in fact, I'm not being fair. The top 8 are separated by 1.8 seconds. Julius, you go and race, my friend. Oh, Steve, the P1000 hydro brake is too hard. You need clogs. Slipper racing is the best, Ryan. Oh, man. Right, okay. Let's very quickly run you through the entire grid. I've got a lot of cars to get through. So let me see if I can get a little bit closer. No, that's further away. Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to get a closer view, but no, it's not happening. So we've got Gallo in the 444, McLaren in P1, Peter Romeo in his Aston Martin in P2, Cripps P3, who's unfortunately we can't really see very much of. Donkervolk in his Ferrari in P4, Verhulst in P5, Cupra in P6. I don't know why I'm flicking through the grid, you can't see them. Backstad in P7, Taylor P8. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to stop. Once they start their formation lap, then I'll start flicking through so that you can see the amazing liveries that everybody has. People put time and money into these liveries, so I'm not doing them justice by flicking them through. I wish we could have more camera angles. So I do. Maybe there's a way of doing it. Mac, Ryan, you're hoping the banner above is not what's going to happen in T1. Oh, the song Wrecking Ball just springs to mind, doesn't it? I hope I hope you have a safe drive, Ryan, and every other driver who's listening. Thank you so much for having the stream on in the background. I always appreciate it. And again, but just before you finish your setups, make sure you click that like button. I know it's the last thing you want to be worrying about, but it just means a lot to me. Kiko, good luck to you, you absolute animal. So you are. This is going to be a very hotly contested. And Cupra has already got a 10-second penalty. Now let me just have a look and see. All right, okay. So Cupra has got a 10-second penalty for using the in-game chat. 420 has been warned for queuing in the pit lane, so that was the Lambo of Alex Hertz that we saw. So the stewards are on the ball. At the moment, there is no rain coming. Okay, let me flick through this now. Gallo in P1. Peter Romeo P2. Cripps P3. Donkervolk in P4, Verhulst in the Lambo in P5, Cupra with that 10-second penalty with the McLaren in P6, Backstad in that beautiful Porsche P7, Taylor in the McLaren in P8, Alex Hertz P9, Durazio in P10, Lammers P11, and Lammers has not clicked start or drive, sorry, so he will be starting from the pit lane. Piva, I hope I've said that right, in the Porsche in P12, Lorenzetti in the Ferrari, 59 Ferraris in P13, Ruggero P14, Brackstad in P15, Callum Stewart is in P16, Vandenbroek is in that McLaren of P17, Davide Mandalisi in the BMW in P18, Perry P19, and Passo is P20. Now, I'm going to go through, the rest are GT4s, but there is a GT3 at the back. So, we've got Jones P1, Lichten P2, Potter P3, Fernando P4, Hood P5, Gasolina P6. Somehow it's all jumping about. George Stevens in the GT3 is in 26th place at the moment. Then we have Ollie in his Aston Martin, Van Dyke, Bellini in the KTM, Tronson in P30, Julius, who's luckily managed to get in to the race after a hardware issue, is in P31. So, yeah, he didn't do a very good job of the GT4. Jones P1, Lichten P2, Fernando P3, Potter P4, Gasolini P5, Hood P6, Ollie P7, Van Dyke P8, Bellini P9, Tronson P10, and Julius P11. We have got 32 cars. So, let me quickly get a drink and then we will be good to go. Here we go. Just as they get onto the start-finish straight, lining up 2x2, 70 kilometers an hour. We're on board with Gallo at the moment. Green, green, green. Here we go. And we're off. Having a look further back. Durazio is looking to try and get up. He's... Oh! That was well saved by both outside cars there. Wow. He just came steaming through. Cripps already has Verhulst on his bumper. He is trying to get Peter Romeo, but now he's having to defend against Verhulst. Verhulst very, very close. Look, they're almost side by side as they come up to the U-shaped bend. I can't call it a chicane, can I? And he backs off sensibly. Doesn't take anyone out. Oh, and you can see the Porsche going very wide there. Oh, he looks like he's just saved it. P1 to 4 have just shot off like rabbits. Gallo is now 5/10 ahead, and you can see Peter Romeo has got Cripps all over his bumper. Coming up to this sharp right hand. It is a hairpin. You're going uphill. It's cambered in so you can get on the power nice and early. And you can see that Aston Martin is just so powerful. It is pulling away. Hard on the brakes for this right-hander. This is an awkward right-hander because you cannot go wide. You go track limits there. Verhulst hanging on, and you can see he's better on the brakes. So I don't know if that Lambo is better braking than the Ferrari is at the moment. Everybody is just trying to get through. Alex Hertz is side by side with the Porsche. A little bit of paint getting traded there. Porsche going wide. Just trying to maintain as much speed as possible. Alex taking that, but I don't know if he should hand that back. That is so mightily close. And here we've got Backstad, who had all kinds of problems into turn 1 before. Following Lorenzetti, trying to get places back. And he goes very wide. He needs to be careful about track limits. Just having a look through now. Jones is still P1 with the GT4s, but it looks like Ollie. Has Ollie just gained the place or dropped the place? Looks like, in fact, that's a GT3 going through. I just saw the change there. Yeah, that's Perry and the Ferrari making his way through the the pack at the moment. So you can see Ollie is all over the back of that KTM. He needs to try and get past that. Ollie currently is sitting in P5. If he can get past Gasolina, that he's having to watch that Lambo going past him as well. That is the Lambo of Lammers who started in the pits. So just keeping an eye. At the moment, Cripps is actually losing time to Pateron. He is 1 second behind. Alex Hertz. Oh dear. Donkervault going well wide there. I don't know if that was... He just... Did he just go wide? Alex Hertz got in his mirrors and got in his mind. I swear that's what happened there. Just a flick out as if he was going to go for the move. Lammers again, just trying to make his way up through. He's just past Lichten and he looks like he's trying to get past Jones as quickly as possible. That will then leave us. Passo is actually at the very back of the field in his McLaren GT3, so he's got the entire field to go through. So this is looking very, very close at the moment. Cripps unable to make any advantage and actually has fallen back into the path of Verhulst. Now Verhulst looks like he's got a drive out of here. He's shown his car in the mirrors. Cripps is a very seasoned driver. He won't be affected by that too much. But you can see he's much better through those corners. I don't... What do you call that? I know there's a name for it, but I just can't think what it is. So the top four at the moment are very closely together. Alex Hertz is in P5. Durazio very, very close to Piva in that Porsche. Is he going to try and make a move up the inside here? Is he going to look for a... Nope. He's just trying to get close enough. Try and get a better drive. He has got a better drive out of this. The Porsche is getting all over the place with power oversteer. And this is a battle. This is just basically out and out power. Porsche going slightly defensive and then back again. Yeah, that Porsche is... I think Piva's got a little bit of a heavy right foot. I know because I had one myself. You just make that Porsche go sideways all of the time if you're not careful. Look how close this is now. Look, is he going? No, he backs out of that. Absolutely backs out of that. But it's enough to put the Porsche off. Piva is all over the place, trying to watch his mirrors and not really concentrating on the track as much. That is playing into the hands of Durazio. I really don't want to come away from this just now because I have a funny feeling. Oh, Porsche getting very clunky. Now look at the drive. I almost touched the back bumper of the Porsche. The flash of the headlights, doing anything to try and distract the Porsche driver. Porsche has got some nice torque going up along here. And you can see the Ferrari just not quite enough to capitalise on. It's going into heavy braking now as they come through, and just not quite enough to make any gain from that. Having a look back, we've got George Stevens on Callum Stewart, but he backs out of that quite sensibly, I would say. But Lammers has got past Perry. Let's have a look back here. So the side-by-side as they're coming up to the heavy braking, and Lammers just makes it stick. Off racing line slightly, but he absolutely uses it. Oh, and the Mercedes getting all wide, and that gives Lammers another position. So he does. So let's have a little look. Jones is actually very close. In fact, sorry, what has happened? Lichten actually is in P1 in the GT4s. I can't keep up with all of this. Jones has lost P1 to Lichten. He closes up under braking. He sticks with it round that tight hairpin bend, and he's still on a bumper. Is he going to make a move coming down to the sweeping right hand? Don't think he is. He's again, he's a seasoned veteran. Oh, but he does get close enough to make it look as if he is. Lichten not phased in the slightest at the moment. The pit window is open. Julius in his Mercedes, and that's That's Paso in the GT3 passing him. Jones is so close to the back of Lichten, but still can't do anything about it. And don't forget, these GT4 cars are not as quick as the GT3 cars. You really need to plan your moves as best you can. But Lammers, is he going to take Callum Stewart here? Again, this seems to be his favourite position. Underbraking, and he makes that stick. Lammers absolutely driving everything he can, but he gets all kinds of wrong coming out of there. Callum Stewart following him as well. So Perry has now got a 5-second penalty, and Paso has got a 10-second penalty. When I can catch my breath, I will look and see what's happening. Whew, what a start! My goodness, 10 minutes gone already. I'll probably lose my voice by the end of this. This is absolutely amazing. This is why I love multi-class racing. There's no change at the top for the GT3s. We've got a little train form in here. We have Ruggero, Brakstad and Backstad. Now try saying that with a couple of martinis. I sounded really old there saying martinis. Why didn't I choose a different drink? A mojito. So this train, so Backstad at the head of this train, under pressure from Brakstad. Now these two drivers are racing in the Rookies Championship as well. Both very, very fast drivers, so they know each other. Oh no, there's contact! There is contact! Oh my goodness, Backstad keeps it going. In fact, sorry, that was Ruggero in the Merc. It looked like he just ran out of brakes. Absolutely loses positions there. So that then just leaves Backstad and Brakstad fighting. Cripps is 7/10 away from Peter Romeo at the moment. Romeo is 1.1 seconds away from Gallo. Backstad is so close at the moment to Piva. Porsche against Porsche. It is down to the setup and down to the driver. A turbo shandy, jeez, Ryan. You might as well have said a snake bite or something. But I appreciate you make me feel better about it. Oh my goodness. Lammers is right behind Ruggero as well for this. I just want to see how this plays out, because at the moment 3 Porsches all vying for the same place, same position, and certainly looks like Backstad is quite close here as they come up to the sweeping left hand. Oh, now Piva surely is very close to track limit warning and a drive through. That, every single time I've focused on them, that's what's happened. And you can see Brakstad closing up. And again, the 3 of them need to be careful. Brakstad was not, but Backstad was very close to ending up there. We've got a 3-way battle here for 14th place. So we've got Lammers, Ruggero and Coopera at the moment. And in fact, look, Mercedes all over the back of the McLaren. Now he should have the power to get up here, but is he going to get boxed in? Oh, this is looking very close. McLaren staying defensive, but there's so much damage to that McLaren. And the McLaren in front of him, Van den Broek, goes all over the grass. That Mercedes with the power behind it, the McLaren, is a sitting duck. So it is. Ruggero looking to try and get ahead because the Van Broek is 8 seconds behind Davide Mandalisi. And just having a look further down, Jones is in a pit, so Jones has decided to pit early. That is interesting. Got a yellow flag, Van Broek. What happens here? Oh, he just loses it. He just power oversteer there. Absolutely loses it. Don't hit the... Oh. He had to get out of the way of the track, but that was not nice. So Paso still has his 10 seconds to serve, which they will serve at the next pit stop. Ruggero with a 5-second, Cupra with 10-second, Perry with 5-second, and Paso with 10 seconds. Let's have a little look at the right, okay, so car 46, which is Perry, caused a collision with 226. Just trying to see where 226 is. 226 is Van den Broek, who is in the pits at the moment. 235 is Paso. Brake late whilst being on the inside, and he tapped car 46. And the last penalty is car 90 outbreaks and rear ends car. Yep, so absolutely just things happening all over the place. So we've got a couple. Lichten has pitted now as well. Now this is going to be interesting because Lichten will be looking to see if he can get back out ahead of Jones. Now Jones is getting past at the moment, but Jones has still got the last sector to go. So let's keep an eye on Lichten. This is the longest pit straight in the world, it feels. And that's Lichten just coming in now. So Jones, oh my goodness, what went on there? That's a GT3 car. Looks to try and get past. Oh, he tries to go on the outside. That would have been a difficult one to do, even if it was a GT3 car. So Jones is just coming onto the start-finish straight. Lichten is still in the pits. So Jones should, in theory, take over P1 again. But something has happened, and I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to see it. I was concentrating on other ones at the time. Julius is only 3/10 behind Stephen Hood, and Stephen going very wide there in that Camaro. He must be fighting that car like crazy. That car, I'm just so glad it's not raining for the race, because I think it would be a miserable 45 minutes for him. Julius going wide there. He needs to be careful. He's now got a McLaren coming up behind him. That's Van den Broek, or Van den Broek, who's coming in now. There's no change, but at the front, Cripps has caught up with Peter Romeo. Now, is Peter's brakes? Oh, I wonder if it's been... Oh, Peter's having to go wide! And this is now a battle. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. They have just got cars everywhere. Look at this. They're 3 wide. Coming hard into the first corner. And he's got a back marker he needs to get past. In fact, no, that's Gallo, sorry. So Gallo's been held up with traffic as well. Wow. This is now turned into an absolute battle for P3. Gallo, Peter Romeo and Cripps, all within 0.8 of a second of each other now. Gallo was ahead by at least a second, maybe even more. Peter Romeo was over a second ahead of Cripps, but it just shows what happens when you mix GT3 and GT4 cars. This is what happens. People who had leads now don't. So this is really game on. Cripps really needs to try and get past Peter Romeo as quickly as he can, but that's easier said than done. I'm not taking anything away from Peter. Peter is a very fast driver, and he has every right to be in P2. He deserves it. That's where he qualified. I just wonder who out the 3 of these are going to jump first to pit. I just wonder. Now, whilst I have a second to actually breathe as things calm down a little bit, I am going to have a look and see just to see if we have contenders. Vandenbroek. Oh, no, 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 no. What happened there? Did he just get on the power again too early? Another, some GT3 cars now pitting as well. Got Perry, who is 30th place at the moment. Yep, so I'm just going to look for... Backstad has managed to climb himself up to P7. And he has these two to contend with to try and get past. But I want to get back. Peter Romeo. Oh my goodness! That McLaren, the GT4 McLaren, has absolutely played a blinder for Peter Romeo. And you can see Cripps flashing his lights like mad. I can only assume that Gallo got held up there with the McLaren. Again, Aston just not quite close enough to do anything about it. Now, don't forget Lammers has went from last place to P10 and looks like he's trying to capitalise and get a P9. This guy started from the pits and is now in P10. I think he's a contender for driver of the day. But we're back here and look, Cripps using every part of the car and the track to try and get past Peter Romeo. Now, is he going to have enough to get down? No. That Aston Martin is just stretching its legs away from the Ferrari. Gallo is almost a second ahead of them now. Does Gallo have any cars? He is, in fact, coming up in another GT4 car. Is he going to catch up before? Yeah, you can see flashing the lights again. He's not going to catch up before this set of corners. So, again, GT4 cars are not helping Kiko Gallo at all. And the Mercedes GT4 just moves out the way for the top three to come through. But as you can see, Cripps has lost a little bit of time. Peter Romeo so close to the back now. That Aston we know is quick in a straight line. Is it quick enough to try and get past? Just letting the car turn in and then on the power hard. And Cripps, unfortunately, at this point in time, does not have a response. If you were Cripps, would you pit now? Since you're not able to get an advantage? Or would you wait? We're almost coming up to halfway through the race. Let me know in chat what you would do if you're a Cripps in P3. At the moment, there's no catching P1 and P2, so do you try and do an undercut or... Backstad is still all over the back of Lorenzetti, trying to do anything to get that Porsche past the Ferrari there. Oh, just getting a little bit sideways, and Cripps has pitted. Cripps and Verhulst have both pitted. That leaves these two to battle. So it does. Just not quite enough. Sorry, I'm just starting to do my driver of the day poll. Let me have a little look and see. Cripps is now out of the pits. He has got quite a way to go, so he does. Now, I don't know what's happened, but at the moment, oh, Potter hasn't pitted yet. So Potter is still to pit, which would leave Elias Fernando, who's still to pit. Steve Hood and Van Dijk all need to pit, which means Jones will then become P1 again. Jones currently 5 seconds behind Van Dijk, and he's got a bit of a cushion, just over 4 seconds to Lichten in P2 of the GT3s. It looks like everyone else has pitted in the GT3s, apart from Potter, Fernando, Hood and Van Dijk. Peter Romeo is now into the pits. Gallo has stayed out, and this will seem like an eternity. Now Cripps at the moment is coming round. I don't think Peter Romeo is going to get out ahead of Cripps here. I don't know. I just have a feeling. Here's Cripps coming up to the last corner on the start-finish straight. Peter Romeo still in the pits. Cripps is now going to take second place, and there Peter Romeo just coming out now. I don't know if he had a slower stop or what it was, but Cripps has played a blinder. Once the rest of the field pit, it's going to be a race between Cripps and Gallo, who are our top two in the championship. Alex Hertz just ahead there of Peter Romeo. Cripps is he's set the fastest lap with a 1:45.500. So at the moment you get an extra bonus point for fastest lap, similar to Formula 1. Now Gallo's now lapping. Is he going to come into the pits this time? As he saw Cripps going in and Peter Romeo, and thinking, right, okay, if I put the foot down, try and get past, but he's now coming up to cars. He's coming up to GT3 back markers as well as GT4 cars. I'm just setting up your driver of the day poll, so don't worry if I'm a little bit silent. I sometimes struggle to do more than one thing at a time. Potter in the GT4 has pitted, which now gives Elias Fernando the lead. Fernando and Hood still have to pit, but it looks like Jones is going to end up back at P1. And it looks like, at the moment, having a quick look, yeah, Ollie has pitted. Ollie could end up with a podium here. Just looking to see where he is. Graham Potter's still in the pits, as Ollie's coming up to the last right-hander before the start-finish straight. Nope, Potter is back out. So Potter has managed to come back out in front of Ollie, taking that third place in theory. We obviously need Elias and Steve Hood to pit, which will then put everybody back to the correct formation. Now I'm just having a look. Lorenzetti and Gallo. Gallo has come into the pits and Lorenzetti has come into the pits. Temporarily, Lammers now has P1, but he still has to pit. So Lammers, Lorenzetti and Ruggero. Now this is going to be interesting. Cripps is... I think Cripps is going to come out in front of Gallo. I genuinely think, well... Yes, I think he is. Gallo is still stationary. Cripps coming up to the start-finish line now. Coming down to the first right-hander, sharp right-hander. Gallo is now... Oh, this is too close to call. Look, there we go. Side by side. Gallo on colder tyres. Cripps looks like he might have this. Cripps has had 2 laps with hot tyres. And Gallo going wide. Cripps is taking this. No, they're still side by side. There is no... Oh no, there's contact. Gallo moves in towards Cripps. Is that going to be a steward's inquiry? And again, oh, Gallo has to break it. And wow. What timing for them to come out like that. Cripps at the moment now, he is on the hotter, high pressure tyres. Gallo has to get those tyres up to scratch as quickly as possible. If this finishes with Cripps P1, Gallo P2, and Cripps having the fastest lap, Cripps will go to the top of the championship. No, he won't. It'll be, oh, no, he won't. Sorry, no, he won't. I got far too excited there. Far too excited. Ruggero has a 5-second penalty. Let me just have a look now and see. Verhulst is only 0.5 behind. Steve Hood is in the pits, so that's why he's been passed. So the GT4s look like they're now back into the positions they should be. Verhulst very close to Durazio. Gallo is 1.3 seconds behind Cripps already. So, has this now played into the hands of Cripps? Just looking through the rest of the field just to see. At the moment, this is the battle that's raging. Okay, in 2 minutes, I am going to put up the driver of the day poll. That is going to give you 12 minutes to vote. So it is. Now, I just need to see if... I don't know if I can allow you to vote more than once. It doesn't look like... It looks like it's set the way it is, unfortunately. Brackstad's up behind Piva again. Gallo has now set the fastest lap. A 1:45.065. That, if the... Now that has taken 6/10 out of Cripps' lead. Gallo is absolutely on the charge. Cripps will be seeing all this playing out in his mirror. And he knows, I know it's 1 point, but this championship could go down to 1 point. So fastest lap really does make a difference. Now, this GT4 car, is Steve Hood going to stay out the way? Yeah, he's absolutely a veteran of racing, so he knows not to get involved. But look how close Gallo is now. And they're interrupting me, trying to get the driver of the day poll sorted. Stop it! Stop both of these! Oh, Gallo looking for it. No. Gallo is absolutely all over the back of this bumper of the Ferrari 296. Cripps really needs to look into that bag of tricks again and see if he can pull some rabbit out of the hat, because this is not helping him. The more they fight, the higher the temperature in the tyres, the higher the pressure goes. There's GT4 cars, there's 2 GT4 cars ahead of them who are battling as well. Oh, Gallo going very wide there, oh my goodness. I don't know if he missed his braking point or what, but that is actually handed Cripps a bit of leeway. Alex Hertz is up into P3. Peter Romeo is in P4. Durazio is up to P5. Verhulst P6. Ruggero is in for his penalty and his pit stop. Donkervolk is in P7. Lorenzetti P8. Davide Mandalisi P9. And Backstad in P10. Flash of the lights. Oh my god! Side by side. Oh, they're touching paint again. This poor GT4 car really needs to get out of the way of this. They were side by side as I was looking at the timings to see what else was going on. This is so close to call. There's 10 minutes to go, and if I don't get things sorted, there's not going to be a driver of the day poll. Gallo, oh my goodness. Short of being attached to the bumper of that Ferrari, you couldn't get much closer. Very, very close as they're coming down to the last right-hander before the start-finish straight. And then is Gallo going to try and make a move up the inside, under braking on Cripps? Cripps' camera will just have a full frontage of a McLaren staring back at him. And look at the drive the Gallo's got. Oh, he's got a bit oversteer. They're now literally bumper to bumper. And look at this, the McLaren absolutely catching the back of the Ferrari. Cripps is going to have to go defensive here. He's going to have to try and be the last of the late breakers as they come up. Oh, there's contact again. Oh my goodness, these two. And they've both went off the track. Both back onto the track. But Alex Hertz is literally licking his lips. He is now looking and going, I'm in for some of this. Thank you very much. I will have some of that. Now, this is not what Gallo wants. Gallo wants to be fighting Cripps. He does not want to be looking behind him. He does not have to be defending. This is the last thing. But Cripps, the contact, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a steward. I don't have stewarding experience. I'm not going to second guess what the stewards are doing or thinking. But that is just wheel-to-wheel action. It really is. Okay. Driver of the Day poll is now live. Now the top two, Peter Romeo and Alex Hertz, are GT3 and Jones and Lichten are GT4. Now, I don't know if it's going to let you vote more than once, unfortunately. But please do give us a driver of the day vote. Who do you think out of those four deserves it? I don't think you can vote more than once, so that's the only thing. Gallo all over the back. Oh, here we go. This surely has to be. He's on the dirty side of the track now. He's trying to do this on the outside of the track. Oh my goodness. Again, this is where they made contact in the last lap. Nice and clean through there. The McLaren looks like it's just sliding all over the place. And he's so close to Cripps. He got such a better exit out of the corner there. Alex Hertz right up on the inside. Oh my goodness. And Ollie is getting past at the moment. Oh my god. Alex Hertz is up the inside. Is he? No, he's backed out of that. But oh my goodness. Alex Hertz has went from P3 to fighting for P1, pretty much. Gallo's still with the fastest lap at the moment. The GT4s, as I take a breath and take a look, Jones is in P1, Lichten P2, Gasolina at P3, Potter P4, Shakespeare in P5, Fernando P6, Julius in P7, Tronsdale P8, Van Dijk P9, Bellini P10, and P11 is Steve Hood. Wow. We have got just over 6.5 minutes to see what is going to happen here. Look how close Gallo is. Does he go for a break? Oh, I thought he just looks so close, but he gets, oh, and Cripps goes wide. Surely that's going to be a track warning you get 3 of them, and then if you get another 4th one, you get a drive through. So Gallo really has a bit of an advantage here. He can force Cripps as much as he can, and if Cripps goes offline, he could end up with a drive through. I don't know how many warnings he's had already, but look, he's just so much better through that section. So yes, that McLaren just seems to be so much more planted. There's a plethora of GT4s ahead of them. This is not what Cripps needs to see. Look at him, he's having to go on the outside. The McLaren moving out the way, but Gallo is right on his bumper. Now is this KTM? This KTM's causing issues. This KTM is now planted in the racing line. Cripps having to go off racing line, and you can see the blue flags getting waved by the marshals there. All 3 look like they're going to get past the KTM, but they still have yet another KTM to get past. It's like deja vu. Moves out the way. Does he stay out the way? Please stay out the way. Please let Peter Romeo's joined the party again. Oh, Alex Hertz going all kinds of sideways now. This is now a 4-way battle for P1 in the GT3. Wow. I cannot believe we have went all 41 minutes, and this is how it's coming down to. This is how close the driving skills are of these 4 drivers, and I'm taking nothing away from anyone else in the grid, but these 4 are literally in spitting distance of each other. And if that's a horrible analogy, I do apologise. Gallo again, just so powerful. Don't think he's got long enough to, you can see Cripps moving over. Oh, a bit of weaving going on there from Cripps. I'm not quite sure what that was all about. Is he trying to heat his tyres up again? But surely he's... Oh no, the McLaren has absolutely... Oh my God. That McLaren has... Oh, stay where you are. No, don't. Oh my goodness. Gallo has now lost a little bit of time, but Cripps had to get absolutely hard on the brakes because that McLaren was bang on the racing line, and they have a right to be there. I am not criticising the GT4, it's just there's so much at stake for these 4 cars. Now you can see Gallo has now fallen into the arms of Alex Hertz, for a better word. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. Oh man, I can't take my eyes off this, and I'm still looking at the GT4s. GT4s are still settled. It looks like, yeah, it's pretty much the same as it has been. I'm sorry I haven't been able to show as much of the GT4 as the GT3, but I hope you agree that this is so worth it. Remember, the poll is open for Driver of the Day vote. Please do feel free to choose your Driver of the Day. Top 2 are GT3, bottom 2 are GT4. Whew. Might need a new set of lungs and vocal cords by the end of this race. Now Cripps seems to have found some kind of pace, but he again has got a GT4, but I think he's going to get past this GT4 with plenty of ease. The problem is Gallo flashing his lights, try and get the attention of the Ginetta driver, and it's not working. This is now playing, and he gets out of the way. Beautiful driving. He actually goes off racing line trying to avoid. Oh, it's contact! Alex Hertz is taking Gallo. Oh my goodness. Let's have a closer look at this. Alex Hertz. Oh my goodness. A clip on the front and back, and that is absolutely destroyed Gallo's chances. Peter Romeo has now been promoted to P2. Durazio, who's in his Ferrari, is in P3, and he's got Gallo behind him. But Gallo has also got a problem because he's got Verhulst behind him. Verhulst is only 0.4 of a second behind Gallo. This has went from an amazing race to now, yeah, I think this has settled the race. Unfortunately, a GT4 car, in fact, it wasn't a GT4, how dare I do apologise. Unfortunately, a collision between Gallo and Hertz. I'm not saying either way what I think. It's not up to me. But Cripps is now on his final lap. He has got 4.2 seconds. Oh my goodness, he goes so wide. I don't know if he just lost all traction or he lost concentration. He must just be thanking the people looking down on him from above. This absolutely will put him up. Yes, it will. It should put him into P1 of the championship. Gallo he's 2 seconds behind Durazio. Gallo's now in P4, and he's still got Verhulst who's fighting him, and you can see the gap that's formed. I just feel so sorry for Hertz and Gallo. I genuinely don't know. I'm putting my hands up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm... Oh no, it's a GT3 getting all over the place there. Yeah. Actually, Peter Romeo's taken a second out of Cripps already, but there's only half a lap left to go. So there is. And it looks like Cripps is going to take this home. Gallo 1 second behind Durazio now, but I don't think there's much of a chance for him at all. Wow, what a way for this race to end. I cannot believe it. If I have a voice left for tomorrow, I'll be surprised. And there we go. Cripps takes P1. Peter Romeo P2. Durazio, absolutely delighted, was P3. Gallo, I can't even imagine how Gallo is feeling at the moment. Oh! That's how he's feeling. He's so angry he's taking out a Fanatec sponsor board. Oh! Oh my goodness. Oh. Wow, wow, wow. What a race. In fact, the GT4s have actually finished as well. I thought they would have had a bit of time yet, but they haven't. So let me talk you through the top 10. As you can see, P1 Cripps, Peter Romeo in P2, Durazio in P3, Gallo P4, Verhulst P5, Alex Hertz P6, Donkervolt P7, Lorenzetti P8, Backstad P9, Brackstad P10, GT4s, Jones P1, Lichten P2, Potter P3, Gasolina P4, I think Ollie's P5, Elias Fernando P6, Julius P7, Tronson P8, Van Dijk P9, Bellini P10, and Steve Hood in P11. Wow. Just wow. I don't even have any words at the moment. I am... wow. So, I'm going to take a very, very short 30 seconds just to get some fluids into me. And Peter Romeo is already waiting for his interview. So, Peter, if you're listening, give me 30 seconds and I will pick you up. So I shall. Okay. Right, let's get Peter Romeo in for a chat and see how his race went. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening.
Well, what a race.
Yes, what a race, my goodness.
Oh,
Awesome.
I don't even know where to start. I literally feel like I've ran a marathon tonight. Oh, I mean, you did an absolute outstanding job qualifying and putting yourself into P2. So you did, and you came home in P2. But there was so much in between that happened that.
Yes.
How do you feel your race went? First of all,
the race was good. My pit stop was very bad.
Yeah, what happened to your pit stop?
I was late, braking too late, so I'm thinking, oh no, I got an SG30.
Oh.
Come to the pit stop, to the line, I brake also too late, and then you have to put back my car. And,
oh no.
Then I go out and see, oh no, it's all okay, and then I start to push again.
Oh, because I was watching you in the pits, and then I was watching Cripps, and then obviously he went past, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Oh, sorry, it was Gallo, and I'm like, why is Peter still in the pits? What's going on? There's something happened. So, wow, that explains what's happened in your pit stop. But you got an absolute front seat to what happened between Gallo and Hertz. I mean,
yeah. I think Hertz didn't want to touch him, but I think his car slides a little bit and touched him on the rear. And you know, in this corner, if you touch it there, it's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do nothing about it. I don't think it was intentional. It was bad for both.
Yeah,
because I didn't think I could catch them.
Yeah,
so I was very fortunate.
I mean,
to take P2.
You did so well keeping ahead of Cripps for the first half of the race. Like your Aston was just powering away from the Ferrari. I mean. Did you?
As I told, the Aston is very good on Watkins. The car flies over here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
As also Gallo in front of me, also we had always half 1 second. It was really an epic race.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also from when I came out of the box, I was figuring out where the heck is Hertz coming from.
Yeah,
it was in front of me. It was P4. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I know.
It was very good. It was unfortunate. I think he'd take P3 if it doesn't.
Yeah.
About this
and it is one of these things, as you said, there was no malice behind his actions or anything that could have happened to anyone. It just happened to be the four of yous were fighting for that P1, and at times Gallo was catching Cripps, and then all of a sudden he was losing a bit of time again, and then GT4 cars got involved, and
with the GT4 also, it was I think for us GT3 it was okay, but I think it was very scary for the GT4s when we came
because
past them.
There was a point where Gallo went to the right or went to the left of a GT4. Cripps went to the right and absolutely sandwiched the GT4 along. I can't even imagine what the GT4 driver was thinking.
I think so. It was really terrifying on this track. I think
absolutely. Absolutely. So how do you feel going into the last race of Silverstone?
So I think I feel good.
Yeah, good.
I don't think podium, but top 5.
Yeah,
P5,
I mean,
it's okay.
Yeah, because I mean, the Aston's not a bad car at Silverstone, so it's not. But wow, yeah, I think you need to go and I think you need to go and have a lie down now, Peter, and relax a little bit.
I want to watch the replay. It was so intense. It was so fun, really fun. The first half of the race was epic.
It absolutely was, and none of the top 4 couldn't lose concentration for a second, because if you did, that was you out the race altogether. So wow. Exactly. Congratulations, Peter, absolutely phenomenal. I would also like
to Owen.
Yes, absolutely.
And I have to say, Owen is a real race driver.
Yes, he absolutely
is. Out of the race, he told me, I'm tired, I'm asleep, I make mistakes, and then he will race.
I know he does that, doesn't he? He really does. But I just want to also say congratulations, because you won Driver of the Day vote in the chat. So yeah, that's something we're doing now. We're choosing, because a split of GT3, GT4. I chose 2 drivers of GT3 that I thought had done a phenomenal job, and 2 drivers from GT4, and you came out the winner with 5 votes.
Thank you.
So congratulations on both, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon, Peter.
Me too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, congratulations.
What can I say?
Well, I don't know what you can say. I can't say anything. My voice is going.
There's probably about 3 towels next to me, all full of sweat.
Is that where the flooding's come from in the UK?
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh.
A race. I mean,
I
can't imagine what it was like for other people.
It was great watching it.
you got GT3s going everywhere. I think at the start of it, Gallo, Peter, and myself were all chilled, just relaxing, following each other. I had a guy up my arse, De Vries, was it? De Vries?
The Durazio.
Yeah, and it was just solely until, I don't know, his tyres went off or mine warmed up. I don't know which way, or maybe a combination of both. And then I managed to pull the seconds away. I mean, he did a hell of a job, and he made my life very, very difficult.
Yeah.
But
were you actually losing time? Was the Aston Martin quicker than the Ferrari, or was it just somehow getting a better drive out the corners?
The Aston Martin's a very nice car. It doesn't work on all tracks, unfortunately, and it's such a shame.
Yeah.
But it seems to work at Watkins, Glen, and for Peter quite well.
Oh.
He's definitely got more grunts
Yep.
than I do in the Ferrari. I don't know what it is with the Ferrari. It just doesn't have anything down the straight.
No.
Honestly, when Gallo was alongside when we got out of the pits,
Yep.
I thought, yeah, he's going to outpace me. You know,
Yep.
I got zero chance. I just sent it. I was just like, I can't let him have this. After pitting early and taking a huge risk, I couldn't let him have it.
Do you know, I was actually saying in commentary, if you were Cripps just now, would you pit now and just get out of all the GT4 way and get back to your own race? I mean, it paid off because you came past. I mean, the timing of him coming out the pits and you going past, you couldn't have timed it any better. You were neck and neck.
I don't know how that happened. I generally don't know. I thought, honestly, he would be out in front of me. Gallo would be out in front. But what on earth happened to Peter? He was then 5 seconds behind. I'm just like, how the hell have you managed that?
So he had made a mistake in the pits and ended up getting a stop-go penalty. So basically,
Peter?
Yeah. Sorry, he was worried he was getting a stop-go because he was coming in too fast to the pits, but he messed up and it cost him time because I was looking at him in Gallo thinking Peter's going to come out soon, and he didn't, and I'm like, all right, okay. Did you think Gallo was going to catch you? Did you think he was going to pass you near the end of the race? Right.
Yes. I mean, I was saying, because I was streaming at the same time, I just said he's got the legs on me, and you know, I'm only hoping that his tyres go off faster than mine. The setup that I was running and the Ferrari seems to be very good and conservative on the tyres, which is nice.
Yep.
Because they're normally not. But for whatever reason, at Watkins it was working. I made an extremely soft setup, and you know, it's the only way the Ferrari can go over the bumps, if I'm honest with you, because otherwise it's like a kangaroo.
Yeah, it just bounces
on
everywhere.
Some sort of dance night drug. You know, it just keeps bouncing around.
Wow. Did you see what happened between Gallo and Hertz? Did you?
I did not see.
No.
I will have to re-watch the replay.
Yeah.
I apologised to Gallo instantly after the end of the race, saying, you know, we had 3 taps. I believe it was, all 4 or something like that. One of them was down the straight. That was nothing. We both knew that. Then there was one where we go into the chicane where we both nearly died.
Yes, you did.
How we both kept it out of that wall, I don't know. And I have to rewatch that because I apologise to him because I think I moved slightly to the left, if anything. But it was more that I was probably blocking his line, and he maybe thought, "Oh, I can turn now," which he couldn't do. But you know, all fair play to him. He really reacted so well to everything that was going on. The GT4s in front of me deciding that they want to change their line at the last minute. That was insanely difficult to deal with. And the way Gallo was able to react to his brakes at the same time I'm reacting to mine, that man has reaction times of a god. I have no idea how he does it. No idea.
It was amazing to watch us, because even up to the end, I thought this is going down to the line, and then Alex Hertz was catching, and then Peter Romeo was catching. I thought there's 4 in for this P1 position, and then it all kind of went a bit Pete Tong from there. But yeah, I genuinely thought you were into the back of that yellow McLaren past the chicane on that. Oh, I was like, oh, please just move out the way, just leave them to it.
I don't understand. I mean, I know that they were meant to stick to their racing line and everything. I get that, and I completely and utterly agree with it. But when you got 4 cars all fighting for P1 coming barreling up your arse, if it was me, I would have just pooed myself and pulled out of the way completely. But I mean, fair play to that GT4 sticking to the rules.
No,
but I just don't think it was probably the right decision. But you know, just solely because it made me poo myself, and now I've got to change my boxes, unfortunately. But
well, do you know what? It added to the whole excitement as well. Just that little bit added on. So, well, congratulations. I'm pretty sure that's you top of the championships now, pending any post-race analysis that's needing done. So, yeah, how does it feel to be top of the championship?
Is it top, am I?
Well, you got... Ooh, well, hang on a minute, because you got...
I think it's... I mean, Gallo's got... I was 10 points ahead of Gallo. Gallo got fastest lap, so that counts as 1 point, so it's only 9.
No, you are. At the moment, you are 5 points ahead of Gallo.
Oh, this is insane.
Oh, there are 5 points between you going into the last race at Silverstone.
You see, now this is very, very interesting, because we've already done 24 and 2.4.
Mm-hmm.
And Gallo was there.
Yeah.
And between me and Gallo, we both did a 1-stopper.
Mm-hmm.
And during the time of what was going on, our pace was impeccably, so tightly matched. It was impossible to tear us apart.
Okay.
So we both got incredibly good setups at Silverstone, and it's going to be tight as hell. But I do believe the McLaren has the edge just.
In the right hands, it probably does. In the wrong hands, it doesn't. So, you know. No, absolutely amazing. I look forward to Silverstone. I cannot wait for it. This is going to be epic. An epic finish.
Yeah. It's happened again, Mac. It happened in the backwards with Fernando.
Yeah. Yep.
It's happening again.
It is happening, yep, absolutely.
It's a habit. Well, why me?
Because you're good. That's it in a nutshell. So, you know.
I think it's exciting. And
out of everything, I mean, I have to say, out of 4 races, this has got to be one of the most exciting that we've had. And I really hope I get enough time to put some kind of highlights together of all 4 races, because
that'd be epic.
It's just epic racing from start to finish. We were 40 minutes into a race and we had all 4 of yous in under a second of each other. It was just crazy. Right, go and change your underwear and hydrate with something. And
yes, beer.
And I'll speak to you very soon, Owen.
All right, cheers, Mac.
Take
awesome
care.
Job as usual. Well done, Peter, as well, for absolutely amazing racing, and also for getting driver of the day. Fully deserved. Fully deserved.
Absolutely. Thank you, Owen. Take care, my friend.
All right, cheers.
Bye. Right, we have one more person, and then that's us done for this evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Yeah, quite pumped on adrenaline, I'm not going to lie. I could see that you didn't have anyone joining from the GT4, so I thought I'd pop in and
that's nice.
2 pence.
That's nice. How was your race? I did try to get back and forward, but near the end, the GT3s, I couldn't take my eyes off them. But
dude, no, I know you will have caught me if you were watching them towards the end.
I did.
All blasted past me, all in a row, all at once, and I was absolutely cacking myself.
Because it was just
side of the track.
It was just before the right hand up the hill hairpin. that they caught you,
it was.
and you did very
just
well to
nasty.
stay out the whole problem of it. But I mean, P5 overall, am I correct?
Yeah, P5
Yeah.
in class.
So that I mean,
which
that's
is nice.
Good. That is good. I'm just gonna have
especially after the travesties of last week with a
yeah,
not working pin
absolutely. At the moment, forgetting about any post-race stuff, you're sitting 8th in the championship now, so you've leapfrogged from 10th to 8th, albeit you're tied with Quinton Rosenfeld, but you're now in P8. So that to have to race a GT4 now, people that don't race GT4s or do it in a multi-class, you're not only racing people of your class, you're having to avoid faster cars coming up, which ruins your whole fighting thing. Did you have any chance at many battles on track?
Yeah, I mean, I had some stuff at the start. A little bit of a three-way battle with Gasolina, myself, and Fernando. That was in the first couple of laps. But then we had the guy that spun.
Yes.
Just after the horseshoe.
Yep.
The GT3 car. Basically, Fernando went really wide, thinking he wasn't holding his brakes. I went tighter, ducked up the inside, and then myself and Gasolina pulled away. But it was annoying. I boxed early, tried to get the undercut when the GT3 traffic started, thinking that the guys would lose more time being bullied by the GT3s.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Gasolina managed to pull an extra kind of 0.6, 0.7 out of his pocket every lap, whilst I was still warming up my tyres.
Yeah.
And just pulled away. And after that, after the pit stop, he was consistently, he was 7 seconds ahead. And then by the end of the race, it was like 15. But that's because I had to do some fuel saving. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, when you pitted, I was trying to work out, I actually thought you were going to come out in P3 or P4. The way things were working out, and I thought it was maybe a good strategy, but you can never tell with these strategies if it's going to work out for you or not.
I mean, it's really difficult, especially because in multi-class, it's you're so massively dependent on what the other class is doing.
Yep.
As a GT4.
Yep.
If they've had a bad lap the lap before, it means they're going to catch you in a different place.
Yeah.
So rather than catching you in the middle of a corner, for example, if they've had a second taken out of their lap time last lap by making a mistake, they're now catching you on the straight instead, or after the corner.
Yep.
Which can make such a massive difference to a GT4's lap time, because we can lose. I mean, especially if it's through some of the higher speed corners where we're having to take a compromised line, we can lose half a second to 0.7, 0.8 every time a GT3 comes past us.
Yep.
And I feel like the traffic just didn't play into my hands today. It was a lot of kind of me on my racing line, braking where I would normally brake, and then a GT3 just sending it up the inside, and me having to take a completely different route through the corner.
Absolutely.
But after coming P10 in the first race, then obviously not finishing Suzuka, P5 is a good result.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at least you weren't the poor GT4 who had Gallo on his left and Cripps on his right, blasting past.
Like
oh my! I genuinely, I can't imagine what that would have been like. Keeping an eye on both sides, and you're coming up to a braking zone as well. So but it's so much fun. I know you hear people saying, "Oh, but the GT4s get in the way" and things like that. But everything adds to it. You know, there was a GT4. I don't know how Owen didn't hit him. When 4 of them were battling for the first place. And
that was Julius. It was Julius that almost got in the way of him.
No, there was a yellow McLaren. Just after the horseshoe, you come to the right-hand bend. He stayed on the racing line, and Cripps, I don't know how he missed him, but he had to get hard on the brakes. But it adds to the excitement of it all. And
absolutely. It's just mental.
Yeah.
You have to have. You're basically running, because normally, if you're running a single series race, you can kind of somewhat let autopilot kick in.
Yep.
Not when you're doing multi-class. You need to be 100% switched on all the time.
Absolutely. And it's a long time, 45 minutes, to be that focused.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, I didn't have to deal with too much bulk traffic, because obviously I boxed early to avoid it on purpose. which meant that they then didn't catch up to me until after they'd all done their pit stop cycle. So the first big pack of cars that I got was that leading train with about 12 minutes to go.
Yeah.
When they all just buzzed me all at once, which was immensely scary because I'd been dealing with like one car at a time for the GT3s for the last 20 minutes, and then suddenly 6 of them appeared in my rear view mirror. They were already going too wide behind me, fighting on their own. I was like, no, please, I'm gonna die, but I didn't. So.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Right, okay, go and chill out. And I'll look forward to speaking to you very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good rest of your night, mate.
You too. Take care. Bye.
In a bit. Bye.
Right. I just seen Steve's message there. He had a nightmare for you, but great fun. Thought you could get some good points in the Beast at Watkins. So that would have been impressive. But messed up formation lap and then smashed it late in the race, finishing last. Do you know what? You still finished, though. You still finished. And that's all that counts as far as I'm concerned. What an amazing race. I thank you all so very much for the likes, for the company, for chatting, for voting for Driver of the Day. Thank you all so very much for your company. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I cannot wait until next week. We have the final race, and there's 5 points difference between P1 and P2. Amazing. Tomorrow night, myself and Julius will be on for the Porsche Cup race, which is going to be hugely exciting. I believe, I am just going to double check when, I think is it an 8 o'clock start? Let me just double check for my facts. It's an 8 o'clock start, so we have practice 1, which is 10 minutes. We've got qualifying at 1, which is 10 minutes. We've got a 15-minute race. Then we've got a 10-minute qualifying for qualifying 2. And then we've got a 15-minute race again. So 8 p.m. tomorrow night, the Porsche Cup GB. Really looking forward to it. Until then, have an amazing evening and take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.